The girl had just fallen asleep when her biological father ripped off the covers, but when the girl wanted to get up to check, she was grabbed by the hair and pressed to the bed. Unexpectedly, she saw her father was full of desire, eyes greedily scanning her whole body. The frightened girl's body began to tremble. The next moment the father let go of the girl's hair and stroked her face and left in satisfaction, leaving the girl in a state of shock in her room. The next day, looking at her mother preparing breakfast, the girl was hesitant to tell her mother what happened last night. At that moment, her father came to the table and greeted his daughter as warmly as ever, as if last night had never happened. But the girl remembered her father's horrible behavior and immediately got up and walked away. Soon after, her mother threw the food on the table. The others were confused. Then the mother grabbed the food on the table and devoured it. Then she handed the rest to her son. The father was about to speak up for his son, but the mother's eyes turned cold. She angrily threw away all the food on the table. The son cried at the sight of his mother, but when the father came home from work in the evening, his wife was tidying up the house. So the husband asked his wife why she was so angry in the morning, but she said she had gone to the market early in the morning and wasn't home at all. This made the father think twice. Could it be that it wasn't his wife in the morning? Meanwhile, upstairs, my sister was taking a bath when she suddenly heard a knock on the door. She looked up to wipe off the fog on the glass but was startled by her sister. Then her sister suddenly came up to her and asked her to kill everyone in the house. She was puzzled, so she went to her sister's room to ask her what she meant, but the girl said she'd been in her room all night and hadn't gone out. Then she dragged her sister into her room and told her about her father taking away her quilt last night. But as soon as she spoke, the door was thrown open by her father. He took the knife from the table and pulled out the entire blade. He approached the sisters with a cold look in his eyes. Just as he did, the sister pushed him away and grabbed the girl and ran. But the father appeared in front of them again. Without any hesitation, he threw her out of the room. The sister fell heavily on the stairs and fainted. The girl was so scared that she ran away. But the father didn't chase her. He went to the kitchen and got a hammer. At the same time, her sister woke up. But as soon as she reached the stairs, she suddenly felt someone behind her. Slowly, she turned her head and saw her father with a hammer. She was so scared that she curled up on the side. Just as her father was about to hit her, the girl's cry made him stop. But the next moment, the father swung the hammer straight at the girl. At the same time, the father's voice came from downstairs. Upstairs, the father dropped the hammer and walked into the room. Then another father came up from downstairs. He looked at the sisters with a puzzled look on his face and wondered what was going on. Now the sisters were completely baffled and didn't know which one was the real father. At that moment, the son came up to them. The sisters told him to go to his room. At the same time, a woman's hand picked up the hammer on the ground. Without saying a word, she came over with the hammer. She lifted her head and hit her father without hesitation. Seeing that she couldn't hit her husband and mother, she struck at the girl. The father rushed to protect her so his daughter wouldn't get hurt. Then the mother turned around with a strange smile and walked silently into the room. But it was not over yet. Another identical mother appeared at the stairway. The father turned his head in surprise and looked into the room. He looked at the mother in horror as he walked towards the door. When he opened the door, the mother who had just walked into the room had disappeared. But the hammer on the floor proved that something strange had happened. The family